Right. Of course, that sets the segue to a discussion with the panelists. I want to introduce Alice Wahome, who's a member of Parliament, Kandara. Also, we do have with us Senator Samuel Pugisio, who is the Majority Leader of the Senate, also the Senator of West Pokot. We have with us as well Senator Okongo Mogini, Senator Nyamira. And remember, you can hit us on Twitter. KTN News KE is a Twitter handle. Also use the hashtag Morning Prime. Hashtag Morning Prime. And we shall, of course, be sampling some of the views much later in the course of the program as well. But for now, let me introduce them. They've breathed the morning. It's very early in the morning. And you've breathed the morning, Alice Wahome, to be here, biting cold. Good to see you, looking fresh.
Yeah,
and of course, welcome to the new KTN newsroom. You've been here before? Down here?
No, I haven't been here. I almost got lost.
You almost got lost?
Yeah. Congratulations to the Standard Group.
Fantastic.
For the new modern look.
Yes.
I think you are calling it digital.
Of course.
Digital newsroom.
Everyone is gravitating to, digital right now.
Yeah.
So the consumption of news has changed drastically.
It feels very fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's amazing. Maybe after the show, I'll take you around to just see what this new building is all about.
I love that.
Fantastic. Okongo Mogini, thank you so much for coming. Yes, good to see you as well. On this other side of the tracks. You've crossed over. Alice has crossed over as well, right? Even there go with my population, and my voters.
It's a struggle,
yes.
Because of the construction that is ongoing on Mombasa Road. But I think this place looks good. It's marvelous. And congratulations for the move you have made to this place. I think this is the first time I'm being hosted by you from KTN.
Yes.
So congrats for that move, and
Thank you so much.
We look forward to you continuing to inform Kenyans. You are punishing us with these early mornings.
But you've been faithful so far.
Yeah,
I really appreciate, by the way, waking up in the morning.
Yes.
And I saw your text yesterday, you were saying you're punishing us. This is a punishment early in the morning. Yeah, it's like I'm taking you back to high school.
Yeah, but yes, but we have to do it for you. I think we have to support you.
For the public.
Yeah,
for the public
also. It's a good forum, I think, for the public to have this kind of engagement early morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course, Dibar is our friend, remember?
Yes.
He's trying to coach us back. Bring us back.
I have to remind you.
It's his team here.
All right. Pugisio as well. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you again. I watched this launch yesterday. So it was very nice. I don't know whether, I think the sky is the limit, and it's very open, nice looking place. The lighting, everything, so it's nice.
Even the acoustics.
Yeah. Even the acoustics you don't have. Yeah.
Fantastic.
It looks like there are so many eyes around, they see you.
We have candidates all over, so you better be careful what you say. Thank you. Just on a light note. Right, so we want just to gravitate to a discussion today. A lot of things have been happening, and I know it's a big day today in Parliament. This was supposed to be happening on Thursday, but it has been pushed to today because by December the 2nd, I know you're going for a long recess until next year. I don't know what is your expectation today. We've heard from some of the legislators as well what they're expecting from the president today. This is, of course, given in the Constitution, Article 133, as expected. The president is supposed to be giving the State of the Nation address. I don't know what he will be bringing to bear on the table to address the nation on. We can see a lot of effects of the COVID-19 on the economy that is bound to be occupying a large chunk of his speech today as well, and how Kenya is also coming from that as well, and the new threat of Omicron as well. Let's just begin with you, Alice. I don't know, from your own perspective, what do you think the president will be saying? Are we coming to this particular forum as a divided nation, or a nation that is very polarized? A nation that is gone off on a tangent as far as politics is concerned, that people are becoming a bit personal with the low blows when the politics is coming. Of course, you let it all hang out in your face. I don't know, what will be your perspective?
I think first, business first. As a country, we looking forward to His Excellency's address to the nation. You know, it's a State of the Nation address. And we should have great, big expectations, considering that it is his last address to the nation. I suppose that his team has put together possibly everything that the President has been able to achieve by way of highlighting to the nation.
Yes.
So that, remembering that he gave us the 4-point agenda, or he targeted to fulfill 4 things, you know, major things. That's infrastructure, access to universal coverage, health coverage. He talked about manufacturing. Yes. He talked about the 4th one is food security. I think we would want to see the benchmarks, or to hear the benchmarks that gives indication of the achievements that the President has made. For me, I would want to hear the roadmap, what we have been able as a country through that been able to achieve, the challenges that he has faced, or that the program has faced, or the agenda has faced. And of course, the challenges at the moment and ahead, and solutions to that, because you know, we don't expect that it will stop. You know, he has sold it to the country. We want to see whether the country can achieve. I personally would say that I'm very frustrated, because when I even go around my county or even my own sub-county, I don't see much achievement on the health front. People are still having to travel very far, and the facilities are very constrained. There is no standardization. You know, with the revolution, we had expected that we would actually achieve that, especially the health functions, you know, services. And I would expect that the national government has been able to come up with the county charters to standardize the service delivery. What do we, you know, because you cannot have maybe Siaya, for example, or Nyamira, offering different and better services than Murang'a County, for example. There should be a standard quality assurance document that guides the minimum expectation of every patient. So what I'm trying to say is that on that, I think there is a big expectation. Infrastructure, I think we are still storing in some places. The food security, you still, you know, go to Turkana, they are still dying. That, I think, has totally failed in my view, and you would have expected that inputs, supplements, inputs would be given, maybe supported by governments, you know, subsidies. There are many things we would say that have really not worked. The people are feeling, the economy is feeling the strain. Money, there is no money in the pocket. You know, businesses have closed due to also COVID. So as a government, we needed to really work very closely in terms of bringing the nation together. But you see, there has been major division because of BBI. You know, the BBI came and disrupted quite a lot, and the smooth maybe establishment of this particular government of Uhuru Kenyatta, because as you can see, there were 2 teams during the BBI. Luckily, the BBI collapsed somehow. I had predicted its fatal death, and it did actually occur. Even now, it's unlikely to survive in the Supreme Court. And that's maybe a good thing, because look, we are looking forward to general elections. Yes. The President may give an indication of his own expectations and what the government is likely to do, so that we can have a smooth transition and succession, because of course he's going in 8 months, 9 months time by next year, so that funding of IBC is something he should speak to, so that we provide sufficient money. We would not want as a country to actually fight.
Thank you.
Or have conflict that is not necessary. We must avoid electoral violence as much as possible, so we need to give free, fair platforms to all the people. The police must draw back and stop, you know, criminalizing political activities.
Thank
because
you.
They are not criminal.
Thank you, Alice.
Yeah.
Of course, we shall tease out a lot of things that you've mentioned as well. Let's just also get introductory remarks from Senator Okongo Mogeni before we go to Pogisio.
Yeah, of course, this is, as Ali says, it may be the last or the second last, because maybe the President has one more chance next year. to give a State of the Nation address from Parliament. But I think by and large, this will be a scorecard really on what the President has been able to do for the country for the last 8 years. And in these kind of addresses, you also need to reassure the nation. You need to bring us to speed on how successful this country has been in battling this pandemic, COVID, so that Kenyans don't feel desperation. And then we need to hear what more efforts is the government going to put in place to battle COVID, even with this new
the Omicron variant
that has emerged from South Africa. We want to hear what kind of strategies the government continues to put in place in battling this pandemic. Of course, we want to hear something about the state of our economy. You know, Kenyans want to hear where we are. Do we have money in our pocket? What mitigating measures has the government put in place? Remember that when COVID came in, we had tax reduced, you know, so that Kenyans are cushioned. We now want to hear where we are today. What steps is the government putting in place so that the vulnerable sectors in our economy are cushioned. We know about the people who have lost jobs, and they are not few, they are many. I hope we'll hear something about the chaos that we are seeing in the education sector. I mean, I'm just seeing the number of schools that are being burnt down by students, even in my own county of Nyamira. So I want to hear how is the government responding to this kind of crisis coming from our children. We want reassurance by our president that as we gear towards our elections, as has been the tradition, despite what happened in 2007, Kenyans will be given an opportunity to elect their leaders, beginning from the president, and that Kenyans should not fear that we are going to go through any circle of violence. It would be a free, fair election. I want to hear that the government has been very proactive in ensuring that we have enough security forces. I saw yesterday there was a graduation of 2,600 police officers.
Yes.
So Kenyans should be hear from the president that the government has put in place enough measures to ensure that anybody who may want to cause chaos will be dealt with in accordance with the law. Then the sector of agriculture, what my friend Wahome is talking about, food security. You know, farmers have been suffering. Tea farmers, coffee farmers. There have been a number of efforts spearheaded by the Minister for Agriculture, Peter Munya. I saw him visiting my tea farmers in Nyamira. The government had given, I think, 1B. So that the prices of fertilizer can come down. And I think in most regions, the fertilizer price has come down from 3,100 to 2,500. But the farmers are still pregnant with the expectation that the government will still put in more measures so that they can have better income. The returns from the bonus was not very good. There are a number of tea factories that are having huge loans that is eating into the income of farmers. I hope that while the president is addressing the nation, he will mention how the government will put in place measures that will put some hope to farmers and encourage them, because, you know, foreign earner, like tea, is one of the highest foreign earner, so we cannot afford to neglect it. There are a number of sectors that have died. We know we used to have pyrethrum. We no longer do pyrethrum farming in this country. And, you know, finally, the president should also seek full support from Parliament. There are a number of legislations that we need to enact as we head towards elections, a number of them touching on election. And a number of them, I think, I'm sorry to say that corruption is still a big, big problem in this country. The money that we send to counties every year, like last financial year, we sent 370 billion to our counties. But you have heard Alice Wahome, and I concur with her, that we have not still felt the positive impact of devolution. People are not still getting quality health care from our public hospitals.
Thank you.
You know, so I hope.
Thank you.
I hope that going forward, Dibal, we can address this issue of healthcare so that Kenyans can get healthcare from our public hospitals, not from private hospitals. Yeah.
Thank you. Senator Pogisio.
No, thank you very much, Edibala. It's nice to be in this new facility and a new program. I'm glad you have the same friends of yours around. I really think the whole thing about state of the nation is a scorecard, as they say, of the president, whether it captures the true state of the nation. And usually, of course, the president makes sure he assures us, he makes us know that the state is strong, the state of the nation. You know, that we have a prosperity coming, we are secure. Those are the things that he has to make sure that we have. That the people are taken care of, the monarchy is taken care of. So the state of the nation also should be able to look at how the president relates to parliament, the executive and the parliament, and the legislature, because they are basically dependent on each other. So I believe that a mention of the role of parliament, a mention of the kind of legislative agenda that parliament needs to do and to fulfill our state of the nation, those are very important. For example, this NHIF, for example, NHIF bill, the amendment bill, which is seeking to make sure that we have universal health. So those are the kind of things that we're looking at. We're looking also at the state of the nation in drought, the state of the nation in times of COVID-19, which I think will occupy quite a bit of the speech, because it's a challenge, a new challenge. How are we doing under these circumstances? One of the things I've always wished is that we should mention a little bit about the state of the nation in terms of counties. Right now, you know, every governor gives a state of the county, and nobody knows how we compile all those county reports together to make sure that we have an understanding. If they paint the picture, for example, which is so rosy in the county, we know it's not as rosy as that. We should be able to know, so we know a sum total of what the state of the nation is. So I believe that there will be, of course, governors in attendance. There will be a number of Kenyans in attendance. We hear this may be the last, just maybe. But Article 132, 1B is very clear that it must be done every year. So it's still one more year if possible. He can do it still another year before he leaves office. So we look forward to ourselves being proactive as Parliament. Make sure that the government bills, which are useful to Wananchi, are worked on very diligently, and that before we go to recess, we should be able to pass some of those crucial bills.
All right. On the 2nd December is when you go on the recess.
Yeah.
Right. Allow me just to take a short break right now. You're watching Morning Prime. And of course, when we circle back, we shall continue with our discussion here, looking at that raft of issues that have been raised here so far, and other, of course, confluence of issues as well as far as politics is concerned here on Siasa Fiesta. Remember, you can hit us on Twitter, KTN News. KE is a Twitter handle, and the hashtag is Morning Prime. Don't go away, much more on the other side of a break.